Boston, Massachusetts, just south of Boston in Hingham, Massachusetts. And should we get started, or do you want to wait a little bit for?
I think we've got a fair few people involved. Thank you very much for joining us. Other people will be coming in as we go. I'm sure there's usually a few minutes.
So I'll take a little bit of time introducing myself, which is the least important part of this, and then if more people come, then they'll get into the meat of it. So thank you, Michael, and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Joe Cronin, and I am president of International Citizens Insurance. We are a leading health insurance brokerage offering clients access to a variety of international insurance plans with offices, as I said, in Boston, Massachusetts, but also Tampa, Florida. Over the next 20 minutes or so, I will introduce our company, the services and plans that we offer, and try to address some common questions regarding international health insurance. At the end, we will have additional time for questions and an open discussion, hopefully. And so thank you again for your time. Our company, International Citizens Insurance, was established in 2004. It is now one of the largest expat health insurance brokerages in the world. We offer a wide range of products to fit different coverage and budget needs, including short-term travel medical insurance, as well as long-term comprehensive plans. Our clients are individuals, families, groups, students, anyone who lives outside of their home country. Today, our focus will be primarily on individual international health plans, but I can answer a wider range of topics at the end. As brokers, our team of licensed insurance agents provide personalized advisory services to our clients via phone, email, or text to help them find the right plan and coverage for their needs. We are a dedicated resource for our clients from the initial research phase through choosing a plan and purchasing the plan. We remain available to assist you for the full policy period, and we can assist with claims issues, plan questions, renewals, or anything, any issues that you may have with your policy. So now let's move on to some common questions. Try to address some of them in advance. The first and maybe most important question is, why would I need an international health plan? Not having the right insurance is a gamble on yourself to stay healthy. Some people self-insure, hoping that nothing major will happen. For others, the desire to protect yourself and your family against unknown risks and the peace of mind that comes with it make buying insurance the best choice. The peace of mind is often as important as anything else for a lot of people. Many clients feel the cost of healthcare in their host country is low enough that they can self-insure or cover all the expenses that may come up out of their own pocket. Others choose to buy a local plan offered by their host country. Finally, those seeking something more affordable often purchase a low-cost travel medical insurance plan. All are reasonable options and will potentially save you money in the short term. For those who self-insure, there are risks that you have a severe illness and the costs are more than expected, or you want treatment in a facility that you can't afford. If you are considering self-insuring, or do it currently, we usually recommend a plan with emergency-only inpatient care, also known as a catastrophic plan. These plans won't cover most expenses, but they do provide benefits when you are admitted to a hospital for major illness or accident or sickness. For those of you who are on or considering buying a local insurance plan, you need to check for the requirements of and eligibility, such as being a full-time resident or having to pay taxes to qualify. Not everyone is eligible, and in some countries you're not eligible at all, regardless. More importantly, local plans come with limitations. For example, they will only provide coverage in your host country, so you can't seek treatment at home if you want to return back to the States or your home country, or in any other country where they may have better doctors or hospitals available. So a lot of people who live in one country, they might not have good healthcare system. They might want to get treatment in a nearby country where they have better or sometimes very good healthcare. One of the more common complaints with local plans is access to doctors, specifically longer waiting times, especially for non-emergent situations. For those considering travel insurance as an alternative option, we will discuss some of the pros and cons of travel plans in a few minutes. So then, what are the primary reasons to buy an comprehensive international health insurance plan? First and foremost, they will provide you with comprehensive worldwide benefits in any country, including your country of citizenship. They also provide access to a wider range of doctors with less wait time. They offer 24/7 emergency medical assistance where you can call in, speak to someone in your language to help find the best facilities where you're located for your care. And finally, they provide more comprehensive health benefits with some plans including medical evacuation, vision, dental, repatriation, things that may not be available in a travel or a local plan. Of course, the downside of these international plans is their cost. The price of these plans can be managed by choosing different levels of coverage, selecting higher deductibles, or not including optional benefits such as vision and dental. So what do you get for your money? There are 6 major benefits most insurers include or offer as optional benefits. The first, inpatient care, is simply or loosely defined as any time you get admitted to a hospital for an extended period of time, typically for at least one night. Outpatient care, again loosely defined, is for care outside of the hospital, typically in a doctor's office for things like physical therapy, a rolled ankle needing an x-ray, or cutting a finger and needing some stitches. The medical evacuation benefit will get you to a hospital, sometimes from a remote location, which can be crucial, or from one hospital to another. Repatriation is returning you to your home country. The health and well-being coverage is generally for routine exams, checkups, tests, for example, annual physical, mammograms, and the coverage can include other benefits such as mental health services. The vision and dental benefits provide for routine or preventative care, for example, eye exams, glasses, contacts, dental cleanings. And finally, maternity benefits cover pre- and postnatal care along with delivery. They are typically, this is important to note, excluded for the first year of your policy. So if you may get pregnant at some point, plan to get pregnant in the future, you need to be on the policy for at least a year before the maternity benefit starts. We get a lot of people who come to us and they're pregnant and they want to get on insurance, and unfortunately, but at that time it's too late. Either the policy will be denied, or the you could get the insurance, but it wouldn't cover any maternity benefits for the first year. Generally, these international health plans come with core coverage or a basic coverage package, and then allow you to pick and choose optional add-ons. So study the plan, table of benefits to understand what comes with core coverage, along with coverage limits, which benefits are optional when selecting your plan. And take your time to research the plans and use all resources available to you. Ask lots of questions in advance. It's better to ask upfront than after the fact. All plans will ask you to choose an area of coverage for your policy. Specifically, you choose where you want to be able to get treated. And typically your choices will be either worldwide, including the US, or worldwide, excluding the US. Some insurers have a wider variety of options, maybe Europe only, or excluding Asia, or including only Asia. But those are the most typical, including or excluding the US. And that's because healthcare costs are higher in the United States. So if you exclude the US, you can save money for your plan, but you would forego your option of getting most benefits in the US. If you exclude the US, typically insurers will provide some limited emergency medical benefits in the US, but not the comprehensive benefits that you'd get anywhere else. And in terms of what combination of benefits are right for you, every person and every situation is unique. For some, just having inpatient coverage is fine, as outpatient care and healthcare checkups are very affordable where you may be living. In other countries, or for other individuals or families, a more comprehensive plan might be necessary. We think this is where our agents can make the most difference for our clients. Picking the right combination of benefits at the time you purchase means you'll have the right plan in place when you need it most. And so just as important as what is covered, you need to be aware of what is not covered in these plans. So every insurance plan has a list of exclusions. Those are benefits or treatment not covered under the policy. This list will be provided to you, or should be provided to you at the time you purchase your policy. But you can also ask for a copy of the policy certificate or exclusions list in advance and review all exclusions prior to purchase. Examples of typical exclusions would be injuries sustained while committing an unlawful act. Contraception and birth control drugs are typically excluded. Treatment for undisclosed pre-existing conditions are excluded. So in regard to pre-existing conditions, we get these questions a lot. Pre-existing conditions are treated differently by all insurers. However, regardless of the plan that you're interested in, all clients will go through a process of what's called medical underwriting when you apply, where each applicant will complete a medical questionnaire regarding their medical history. That's reviewed by underwriters at the time of the application. If you have no major pre-existing conditions, your application can be approved and sometimes immediately or within 24 hours. Applicants with a medical history may have to provide additional information, such as a recent physical exam or some specific tests to confirm whatever the illness is now under control. Depending on the information provided and the severity of any pre-existing conditions, the underwriters will do one of four things with your application. If the condition is relatively minor, they will accept the application and cover the condition as any other illness. The underwriters, when reviewing your application, may approve your application, but exclude benefits relating to that specific condition from coverage. So it's an exclusionary rider, is what they call it. Thirdly, they may cover the condition, but add a rate up or an additional charge for any treatment related to that specific condition. It may also put limits on the amount of benefits they will pay out relating to that condition each year or in the policy term. And then finally, they can deny your application if the pre-existing conditions are severe. So we encourage everyone to read the policy certificate and any exclusionary riders. All plans can be canceled after the approval with typically insurers provide a 10 to 14 day, what they call a free look period, where you can cancel with a full refund of your premium, no questions asked. So speaking of the premium. What does all of this cost? The budget concerns are an important factor in designing a plan for your specific situation. You need to be able to afford the policy as part of your overall budget. The good thing for US citizens is that global plans are typically less expensive than US health insurance. This is driven by the significantly lower healthcare costs outside of the US compared to the costs of healthcare in the US. Some things to consider are average policy costs, about $5,500 per year per person, less for children, more if you have a family plan, obviously. The least expensive plan might cost $1,200 per year, while premium comprehensive plans cost as much as $20,000, $30,000 a year or more. We've sold policies $50,000, $60,000. That's per year. So the costs are dependent on a variety of different factors, primarily your age, the number of people on your policy, the level of coverage you choose, and your deductible. Finally, sometimes the country you're moving to with some plans will be a factor and impact your costs as well. You typically have the option to choose then also different plan levels. For example, a couple of the plans that we offer come in a bronze, silver, gold, or platinum level plans, while other plans might have a basic and a premier level of coverage. And generally, the bronze level plans will have fewer benefits or lower limits on the benefits provided, while the platinum level plans will have the most benefits with the fewest limits. And the silver and gold plans will fall in between these two in terms of both benefits and costs. And then finally, you can choose to include or exclude optional add-on benefits and a deductible. The more optional benefits you add will increase the cost, while adding or increasing a deductible will lower your monthly premium. So I know some of you are thinking that it is expensive. It can be. And would travel insurance plans be a good alternative? So in some cases, travel insurance plans are a good option for some clients. The primary benefit of these plans is coverage for emergency medical situations. So you're covered should you get sick or injured up to a preset limit, which medical limit, which is chosen at the time of purchasing your coverage. Additionally, travel insurance benefits like coverage for lost luggage are included. Trip cancellation, they typically have repatriation, things along those lines. These plans do work well for someone who's on a tighter budget, traveling short term, or for people who need a plan to meet certain visa requirements to get into the country they're moving to before they can get on a local plan. You might use travel insurance if you are keeping a domestic US health insurance plan in place and traveling back and forth from your host country to your home country on a regular basis. You might also use one if you're younger or more cost conscious. And finally, if you're planning to get on a local plan within 3 to 6 month period. So the downsides of the travel plans when compared to international health plans, travel plans provide little to no benefits for a variety of types of care that are included in international health plans, such as outpatient health and wellness, mental health, or vision and dental. With travel plans, pre-existing conditions are excluded by definition. Coverage in your country of citizenship is limited if you decide to travel home. And the policies are really designed for shorter periods of time, generally for a year or two. Some plans are extendable up to 3 years at most. And so any illness with travel insurance plans, any illness that occurs during the initial policy term will not be covered then when that initial policy expires and you have to purchase a new travel plan. That illness that you got in the first policy period is now a pre-existing condition and excluded for the next policy period. So it's the annual renewability of the international health plans. Make sure that you have coverage for illnesses that occur while you're abroad, continuously, as long as you stay abroad. For if it's 5 years or 7 years or longer, it will continue to cover that condition. And so there's a good place for travel insurance plans, and we do offer those plans as options. As with most decisions, there are pros and cons to each, and we do feel strongly that you should have some type of coverage in case you get sick. And we all get sick. And so regardless of the type of plan you choose, you're going to need help to get treated when you are in a foreign country. These international insurance companies are set up to provide that help. All the plans that we work with provide a 24/7 medical assistance hotline. The number is on your insurance card. You should call it as soon as you know you need to get treatment, and you need to let the insurance company know you're seeking care. They are there to help you through this process and find you the best care, including qualified doctors at facilities where they have a relationship with, so that they can pay the provider directly. If you go to a provider that does not have a direct pay relationship with the insurer, then you would typically pay the bill and submit a claim to the insurance companies to be reimbursed for any eligible charges owed after any deductibles. Claims are typically submitted electronically, and you will typically be reimbursed 5 to 30 days after your completed claim is received. And I would caution to make sure that you save all your documents from the hospital or healthcare provider, so that you can file your claim in an organized manner. The insurance companies often get a bad rap, but they do want you to get quality care as soon as possible. It costs them more if you have a lingering issue and don't get it treated early. So use their resources as often as possible to get the most out of your plan. So that's it. That's a quick overview. I hope it was helpful. I want to thank you all for taking the time to join us today. And I can imagine it was a lot of information, and I look forward to a more open discussion. This is it should be interesting. Hopefully it's helpful and beneficial to you all. Our team is available to provide more specific guidance based on your unique situation. If you can reach out via the contact information here. There's no cost to use our services. We get paid a commission from the insurance companies when we place a plan. And our role is really to work with you to find the best option, as I kind of outlined previously here, so that you're happy and you come back again when you need us. Okay, for now, I'm happy to take any questions that you have, and just
Okay.
an overall discussion.
That's great, Joe. Thank you so much for that excellent presentation. You've covered so much ground there, actually. We've got quite a few very specific questions. Obviously, with this sort of this sort of topic that we're talking about, people might have even more specific ones that they all want to come to you direct. So I would recommend anybody to go to Joe and his team at International Insurance and ask any specific questions. But these ones that have come in are quite interesting, and I hope you can help with these, Joe. Please, can you comment on long-term insurance for US expats who do not plan on returning to the US after retirement? Can you help them?
Oh, yes, exactly. That's a great customer for us. And so all of our global health insurance plans are designed for people who are living in a foreign country, ideally for more than a year. For people who are living indefinitely abroad, these plans are perfect. They, again, provide comprehensive worldwide coverage, are renewable annually. And so not all of them are renewable for life. So you want to check the renewability policy. Some are renewable until age 75. And so we can help with that, or just check, make sure you check on what is the annual renewable. Is it for life or is it for a specific period of time?
Excellent. We're getting quite a few questions saying, do you deal with life insurance as well as the health aspects? Did you, I may have missed it. Did you cover that in your presentation?
I did not cover it. We do offer international life insurance plans, and I can see if I can share a link with the group on for that. But I can try to.
Sorry about the background noise, everyone.
So I'll share that in the chat. Okay. So there's some general information there on life insurance plans, and so if someone wants to reach out to me directly, that's great and fine. So my email simply is joe@internationalinsurance.com, and so I can help you with answer your questions, or depending on the situation, I may refer you over to one of our agents who, although I'm very knowledgeable, they're better than I am in terms of finding and working with.
Specifically online. Yeah, that's great. Here's an interesting specific question. Actually, there's a lady has asked, do I need Medicare Part B plus supplement for when I visit the USA? She's an American living abroad. She's a cancer patient, turning 65 within a few months, and wants to go back to the States. So does she need Medicare Part B plus supplement?
So our focus is on international health insurance plans. So we're not experts on domestic US insurance plans. So we would, for US citizens who are living abroad, there's, Medicare policies are a little bit tricky. You need to continue to pay into a Medicare policy. My understanding is that you need to continue to pay your Medicare policy while you're abroad if you want to have it remain eligible or inactive, or you might have to pay a penalty to get back on it when you return back into the US. I think I don't want to answer about Medicare Part B specifically. It's not in our wheelhouse.
Not really your area. No, that's fine.
Right.
A couple of questions on cost, which I know you mentioned. One person asked, I'd like to know what a ballpark figure would be for travel medical insurance as a senior who is considered a higher risk, even though they have been medically stable for several years. That's kind of how long is a piece of string, really, isn't it? But can you give an idea?
So right, travel medical plans, probably they're more expensive as you get older, and Then also, once you hit maybe age 65 and above, the different insurance providers will provide restrictions on the overall maximum medical benefit that they will provide for older individuals who are traveling abroad. So for older individuals, for you know, a 30-year-old traveling abroad for a month, the policy might cost $45. So for someone 60 or older, it might cost $80 to $100 per month, off the top of my head.
That makes sense. We have a question from somebody living actually in Switzerland. How do your plans compare with the cost of health insurance in Switzerland? Should they be looking, coming to you and talking about these long-term plans?
Right. So Switzerland is a tricky country, and there are others similar. So if you're residing in Switzerland, depending on your resident status, how long you're staying there each year, you may be required to get on the local Swiss health insurance plan. And so again, that's an area the local plans we're not experts on, because we'd have to be experts on local plans in 100 plus different countries where our clients reside. But I am familiar with Switzerland just because I'm researching that for another client. And so my understanding is the local health insurance plan in Switzerland will cost about $300 per month, or that's $3,600 per year. And then there's some additional costs for the wider access to a network of doctors, or optional add-on benefits like vision and dental. And so the Swiss have a great healthcare system. It's a really great choice, and that's a reasonable amount to pay for health insurance. The limitation is that you're able to get health insurance or health care in Switzerland only. So if you wanted to come back to the United States, if you got sick or injured for care, or if you wanted to go to other countries, then the Swiss plan wouldn't cover that. My understanding is that it would provide some limited travel insurance if you're on the Swiss plan and you travel outside of Switzerland. That's my extent of my knowledge on the Swiss plans.
But generally speaking, if you're an American living abroad, and we have got participants from all over the world, it's worth checking what the local situation is and then checking it out with you guys.
For sure.
See whether it would be better. Yeah.
Right. I mean, Switzerland, it's safe. They have a great healthcare system, and their local health insurance plan you can get on, and they actually want you to get on if you're residing full-time there year-round. And you also have to contribute into or pay for that coverage. And so it's good. It's just if you're in Switzerland for 4 months of the year, and then you're in Mexico for 4 months of the year, and you're in the US for 4 months of the year, it might not provide the comprehensive global coverage that you need.
Great. We have a couple of questions about pre-existing conditions, which I know you've covered very well, but a couple of specific ones. Is high blood pressure and cholesterol considered a pre-existing condition? Yes, and so if you in your application reported that you have high blood pressure and cholesterol, then they may ask for additional medical information on that. What is your cholesterol level? What is your blood pressure? They may look at other factors, such as your BMI, your body mass index, and then yes, the underwriters will make a decision based on historical medical data, whether or not they would be willing to cover you or not. Okay, that's great. And one final one. Now, this questionnaire was anonymous, and you might see why. Here's a tricky question, they say. How would an insurer, such as yourselves, find out about a pre-existing condition, e.g. somebody who had a precancerous growth removed? I mean, if they didn't tell you, how would you find out about it? Sure. No, it's a good question, and we get it frequently.
So there are, there's the underwriting questions, medical questionnaire that you have to fill out. And if you do not answer that openly and honestly, and then you have a medical condition at a later date, if it's relatively minor, they're probably not going to investigate it closely. But if it results in significant claim to the insurer, they will ask for, at that time, they may ask for additional medical information and medical history from doctors, and they may do an investigation to see if this was actually a pre-existing condition. And in that case, if they find out that there was inaccurate information provided on the application, they may void your policy and you lose coverage.
That's great. One interesting one here. What is the maximum age that you cover? And also, as a US resident but living more than 3 months abroad, roughly how much would it cost without US coverage? Can you split out so that you don't cover for the US?
Right, you can purchase worldwide coverage excluding the United States. We have plans that will cover individuals for life. So we have plans that don't have a age limitation. Honestly, the limitation as you get older is price. The plans get increasingly expensive, sometimes dramatically more expensive as you get older. So so you need really to get a quote and figure out what that price would be.
Great. Okay, well, I think we'll wrap it up shortly, but I'd just like to say thank you to Christine and Greg, who've just sent a message to me. There was a lady who asked about Medicare coverage, which obviously is not your area, Joe, but they said for US Medicare coverage, contact the Area Agency on Aging in the state where you will be living, or presumably where you were living and are going back to. They are awesome. Search online and you find the contact for your state. So thank you very much for that input as well, Christine and Greg. Joe, thank you so much for your presentation today. It's been fantastic. Thank you very much for attending, everybody who out there, and for all your fantastic questions. We will be sending out links to everybody so that you can pick up on any sessions that you don't see, but do check on the Summit website just to see what other sessions we're running for the rest of the week. Joe, thank you one more time again. And I think that's it for today. Thank you and goodbye.
Great. Thank you all.
Thanks, Joe.